Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 276 of the 8-Bit Geek. You know, if you're new to this podcast, let me tell you what you're in for. 8-Bit Geek is a lot like going to the club. You know what I'm saying? You know, you pre-drink, you're all dressed up, you're just getting ready, do your hair, put that nice slick gel in it or whatever, mousse. I don't know what people put in their hair these days, but it's in there. It's looking tight.
Aquanet.
You know, you and your friends are just fucking hyped. You're dancing around. You're like, yeah, let's fucking get it. Or you're like, yeah, let's fucking get it. Either one. And then you get there. You walk up to the bouncer and he says, hey, the line starts back there, buddy. You're like, oh, okay. So you wait in line. And then an hour later, you finally get in. Then you're like, yeah, I'm going to fucking rage. But first, it's $20 cover. All right, that's cool. And a 2-drink minimum. Fair, I guess. So, you know, you're in there. You're just feeling that fucking music. You're posted up on that wall, ready to make a move on a lucky guy or a lucky girl. And then it hits you. You're a fucking nerd. You don't belong here.
Wow.
You're not meant for the club. So, you know, you run out of that bitch. You go home and you sit down and play your favorite video game. Welcome to the 8-Bit Geek. We're just like... I'm Jeremy, and with me today are two men who once had a dance-off at a club, and it slipped in.
Wait, what slipped in?
Yeah, what slipped in?
It.
Into what?
Who's it?
Listen, guys, it's your story, not mine.
Like cousin it slipped into a strawberry pie? Oh, lucky son of a bitch. That lucky son of a bitch.
Cousin it, always just fucking getting down.
Every time. Can't stop cousin it from the party.
I guess I'm Doug.
I'm Kevin. I'm cousin it.
Hey, did you know? Hey, Kev, did you know that the guy that played Cousin It in the Addams Family movies is the same guy that played Malachi from fucking Children of the Corn?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's a weird pull there, Doug.
Sorry. I think his name was Malachi. It was the
I
one.
don't even think you looked that up. I think you just knew that. That's even creepier.
He's got IMDb on the ready at all times.
No,
it's
just a fact
Just
I know.
Okay, that you know. I was going to say, it's not really a known fact.
It's a known fact. They're like, we need a short person. I think it was Malachi. Wasn't it Malachi? Wasn't the leader of the Children of the Corn?
I have to look it up. Go look it up.
I don't remember the kid's name. I think it's Malachi.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about. Like, I know I'm see his face and everything.
Yeah, he's like the leader of the Children of the Corn in the Children of the Corn movies.
Yeah.
Oh my god, IMDb.
Here we go.
Here it is.
Down that rabbit hole.
You keep talking. I'm gonna look this
While he's looking at that, Kev had an adventure this weekend because we only know that because of the fact that you showed us pictures and video of some strange uppity fucking neighborhood that you claim was the hood.
Sorry, it was Isaac, but yeah, it was cousin. He was cousin Nick. His name's John Franklin. It's that Isaac, not Malachi. Malachi was someone else. It was like one of the brothers or something. But yeah, the leader, Isaac, John Franklin. Yeah. Sorry, there you go.
So if anybody doesn't know, Kev claims that he grew up on the wrong side of town in Chicago, right?
The wrong side of town. I never claimed that I grew up on the wrong side of town.
He says he claimed that it was the hood. He grew up very poor.
Well, that's true. Okay, I did grow up poor.
Shows up and he does a video from his. And first of all, we already saw his neighborhood from Google Maps, and it looks like he came with a silver spoon in his mouth. So he's sitting there and he's like showing us around in video, and he's like, see, this was the hard streets that I grew up in. While there's nothing.
I don't think I said anything about hard streets in that video.
Hipsters walking down the street with ice cream cones in their hand going, la, 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 la.
Yeah. A bunch of hipsters singing Arcade Fire. Like, it was just.
It's weird. They just started a flash mob right in the middle of Wicker Park.
So explain yourself.
You're right. It is hard to show off the Chicago neighborhood that I grew up in when really it doesn't exist anymore because that neighborhood is completely different. But I did go through my old neighborhood this weekend, and it was pretty awesome. It was
not only did you go through your old neighborhood, but you took a bus and trains and survived to tell the tale.
Oh yeah, and it is just as adventurous as it always has been. Although I didn't run into as many piss-smelled bums, but I did watch one person get into I watched one person get into an argument with a homeless man and get called a racist. And then another girl got called a racist. So this guy was calling a lot of people racist. Basically, he walked into our train and walked up to everybody, and he was like, "I need y'all. Can y'all donate something, or are y'all racist?" And they're like, well, that's a weird choice of options there. So I gave him change. I didn't.
You ended up being racist.
No, I was not the racist one. The racist one was, the alleged racist one was just the girl that was just on the bus or on the train, just listening to Spotify, and she was just ignoring the dude.
her Arcade Fire mix.
I was not staring at her cell phone. I just knew it was Spotify because I saw the menu.
Let's not lie here. Doug and I, Kev, Doug and I have a quick question. We were talking about this last night while we were recording 8-Bit Saga, or 2 nights ago. Why didn't you just take an Uber? It's 2018.
Yeah, man.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, so Saturday I did take an Uber, or we took a Lyft, actually, if we're gonna get technical. We took a Lyft to the show. I wanted to take the train in just for, like I said, a lot of this trip, and it was just a lot of this trip was just kind of a lot of memories for me. Because Apocalypse Hoboken, that was the band that played this weekend all 3 days. It was their big reunion. It was their first shows since like 2006, I want to say. And I just kind of wanted to do it right because, this year sucks. This year has sucked. I mean, there's been ups and downs, but, the beginning of the year, obviously, my mom passed. And so it got me into a lot of like nostalgic and just like wanting to kind of like revisit the past. And I know you can't really revisit the past per se, but this was the closest I got to it. So I wanted to take the train in. I didn't expect to take the bus, but hey, it was an adventure.
Did you get somebody to reenact the beatings that you got, like standing on the street corner?
I only got beat once, and it was a sucker punch. Okay. And thankfully I did not reenact that. But it just like, yeah, so I took a train to Wicker Park. Just kind of walked around that area, and then that was Friday night. Just did that, and then after the show, I took a bus down to North Avenue in Wells. There's a place called Second City. I mean, I'm sure in the entertainment business, it's familiar. It's a very big improv school.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying. I was like, what entertainment industry is he?
Yeah, it's
porn.
Improv.
Improv porn.
Oh, I think it said porn. And then I wouldn't.
Improv corn impersonators.
Oh God, they're not very popular these days.
I'm near.
But across the street from there is a bar called the Old Town Ale House, and my old boss from Burr Hops, the seafood place, my first job, he's been working there ever since Burr Hops went under. So he's been there for about 17 years, and I never got to visit him. So I made it a special trip to make sure that I can go see him because he was working bar that night, and I snuck in and surprised him. Now, he didn't recognize me at first, but once, like, I was like, hey, it's Kevin Clem from Burr House.
You had hair back then.
Yeah, exactly. I had a lot of hair.
And it's been 17 fucking years.
Right. So once he, like, heard my name and everything, like, it was like when I met Angus Scrimm.
I don't know you.
Kansas City.
I don't know you.
Yeah.
It's like, get out.
Kevin Clem. I used to work with you. I worked with you for a number of years at the... No.
He's like, I know. Get out.
He's like... Yeah, you were that lazy piece of shit.
No, it was
You're
really,
the reason it went under.
Yeah, it's all my fault. I took home too much seafood. But yeah, we caught up for a good hour and a half or so, and by that point, the buses stopped running, so I had to take the trains home. And in Chicago, there's different. They mark the different train lines by color, so they have the brown line, red line, blue line, pink line, stuff like that. So I had to go up north to go south, and then go back up north again. It was an adventure, but once again, like I said, for going to see the first band I've ever seen live, and to get to see Tim, and to just kind of re-experience what it was like being growing up in that neighborhood for the most part, it was worth it. It was amazing.
Were you by yourself?
Yeah, after the show I went by myself, so I did this all by myself.
So you told your wife go home and...
no, my wife, she had to work, so she stayed behind. She stayed in Kansas City.
Okay. Well, that's cool. Well, I'm glad you had an adventure.
It was great. And then Sunday, I parked my car in the old neighborhood, like across the street from my house, and just walked to the show from there. It's about a 4 or 5 block walk. But once again, it was something I used to do every single day to go to work. So it was cool to reenact those memories. That's when I shot all those videos and was showing you guys like my old neighborhood. So
yes, the constant video feed I didn't ask for.
yeah, exactly. I felt bad. Like Mike was the only one. He was like, "Thanks for this." Like Mike's so positive and nice.
Listen,
Everyone else was just
enjoyed
silent.
I enjoyed it, but I usually watch those kind of things on Snapchat where I don't have to respond. You just see that I watched it.
Yeah, and I'm like waiting for a response. I wasn't waiting for a response. I just wanted to show you guys. And,
I was going to respond. I was at work, so I couldn't respond. But
yeah,
I did see. I got a good laugh out of this fucking alley. Well, at least what you call an alley. It was more like it's more like a Walmart parking lot.
what?
Here's the alley I played in with the dead bodies and the hookers.
It's so wide you can fit two.
Well, they cleared the hookers and dead bodies out by now. That was the.
Oh, is that why it's wide now?
Eventually, they were going to start to smell.
He's like, he walks by. He's like, man, it seems so much smaller when I was a kid.
Well, I wanted to like show off the alley even more or like take pictures, but then there was like people walking around. I'm like, I'm that weirdo. And it's like, even though it was the neighborhood I grew up in, I don't know anyone there anymore. So I'm just some strange dude talking on his, or like taking a video in an alley on his cell phone. So I'm sure they're like, and especially in this day and age, white people are like, call the cops. So
yeah, but you're a white person, so they would have assumed that you were making an Arcade Fire music video, and you would have been fine.
How did this get to be about Arcade Fire?
Like, that fool's just making a snap about Arcade Fire's gonna be playing in the background, and he's gonna be listening to Keep the Car Running or some shit, and he's just sitting there.
I don't even know any of their songs, so you've already one up me on that.
Hey.
Also, and one other thing I did was on Saturday, I hung out with my good friend Larry and Jeva from My Bleeding Ears, and we recorded a couple episodes of that. That was the podcast I was telling you guys about, where Larry and Jesselyn watch very interesting movies and kind of give their opinions on it, like something that would definitely fly under the radar or just be terrible.
Okay, so what'd you watch?
We watched Robo Vampire.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Yes. It is no Robo Vampire. We found out, we went down a rabbit hole with that movie. So we looked that up. We looked up the director, and Larry did his research. Larry is amazing. You got to listen to this podcast. It's called My Bleeding Ears. It's like, so he does a lot of research in this, and he found out the director he directed over 150 films in his career, and he went by 5 different director names. So like there would be like 15 films from each director like released like every year in the 70s and 80s. And it turns out I've seen a couple of them by happenstance. This movie called Undefeatable, which is just god awful. I've seen that, and so we want to make it we started watching we saw one called Kickboxer RoboCop. And he's just like, and the cool thing is they've uploaded them all, like the director himself, he's in his 70s, and he uploaded all of those movies to YouTube. So you can find them. Just look up Robo Vampire and you can find like the full movie.
I'm looking at the IMDb page right now. It was directed by
Jeffy Ho.
Godfrey Ho.
Godfrey Ho, yeah, that's what it is.
As Joe Livingston.
See, and like he changes his name so often.
And the picture, the artwork for it, it looks like RoboCop.
Yeah, and then in the actual movie, it's just some dude in like an aluminum suit. It looks so bad.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like, again, the artwork for it looks like RoboCop. We'll see if I can put it on the stream here in a second.
I want to watch that one.
Yeah, and so so we recorded 2 episodes of that, and that should be airing soon. We also recorded another episode for Predator 2 because we've been meaning to do that for a while. So,
nice.
Yeah, it was just a really fun time on Saturday hanging out with Larry, and then Sunday I got to see the Boll Weevils again because they opened the show. And afterwards, I got their set list. Yeah. So there you go. I've got like their 10-song set list, and I'm really proud of that.
I wish I could be excited for you, but I don't know who the fuck that is.
Yeah, exactly. They're a Chicago punk band that I've been adoring since I was like 16 years old. So
now they're like in their 80s, and you're still rocking out to them.
They're about their late 40s, maybe. I don't know.
Putting that image right above.
Either way, they're awesome dudes, and they're super nice. They were very grateful that I made it out to the show and everything. So,
Well, if you
that was
like
my weekend.
that's his weekend. That's an awesome weekend. If you like that, if you like what you're hearing, if you like the stories that we tell, you're more than welcome to listen to us more, and you could do so on Audio Boom. You can find that information on the website. Audio Boom is our sponsor. They pay for all of our bandwidth, so that way we can put this show out to you. We appreciate them very much. But if you don't want to, if you're like, what the fuck? Why does he mention Audio Boom every fucking week? Well, you can just say fuck it, and you can watch or listen, not watch. Well, I guess you could watch, just the timeline go. On Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher Radio, or anywhere else that you find a podcast. You can also find us on social media at the 8-Bit Geek. And of course, every Monday night right here on Twitch, we record live. You can come in and interact with the fans. And we also have to say that Snorkel just subscribed for 7 months in a row. Thanks, you, Snorkel.
And Brandini used 2 bits. And he said, cheer, cheer, were you in South Detroit? To where I say, thanks for the tip, Brandini.
If you can't make it to any of those shows, you can always any of these shows live. You can always connect with us on Discord. What is Discord? It's a little chat program, a little audio format that you can get into rooms, chat with people, talk to people with your fingers or with your mouth hole. And it's a fun way to make new friends. You can. Why are you guys looking like that? Just don't worry about it. You guys come over, make some new friends, and start a relationship with us. You know what I'm saying? Because we need it in a friendly way until you sign the correct documents, and then we can touch. If you're interested, get on the Discord, because we're 8-Bit Geek is about to take off into the stratosphere of esports gaming. We're starting an esports team, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to start entering some low-level tournaments, and then we're going to work our way up. Blakey is the contact on that one.
Yes.
On Discord. So go talk to him if you're interested. And things it's just going to get real interesting real quick. Let's see. You can always check out the events page on the website as well if you want to play with us every week. We now do some gaming. You can do that at www.the8bitgeek.com. Go do that. All the links are there for everything, even our shows, our other shows. We have 8-Bit Saga, Divas Drop Kicks and Dives, and Brainberry Tarts. All right? Go check out those shows as well. Now, if you'd like to, you don't have to, but you can. If you want to support us, you can do it 2 ways. One, you can do it with your mouth. You can tell your God
damn it, Jer.
You can do it with your mouth.
That is a way.
That is a way. You could tell your friends. You could just be like, you know what? These guys rock. They're cool. But do it in a way that makes people feel like it was their idea, because of the fact that people don't like to listen to shit anymore. If you give them a suggestion, they have to discover it, and then they have to tell you about it. So just kind of, maybe play it in the background at their house, and then they're like, oh, shit, what's this? And then you're like, I don't know. And then they're like, holy shit, I got to look it up. And then that's a natural way. You could just do that. Or if you want to spend your hard-earned money, the money that you make at your job, if you decide I'm not putting food in my kid's mouth this week because I'm giving it to the 8-Bit Geek, I accept that. That's acceptable, and that will get you points in heaven. Okay? So, yeah.
Caveat.
Mm-hmm.
Just put the asterisk by that. That's all.
Okay. So if you want to, for $5, as little as $5 a month, you're going to get a ton of extra content, which is going to be a lot of fun for you. We give you a pre-show, a post-show, and a whole bunch of stuff in between. So go check it out. You can even give up to a million bajillion and just set us up for life. You know what I'm saying? Because all the money goes back into the show. All right. We invest back into it. We just purchased 8-Bit Saga new microphones. So you'll hear that in 15 months, how that sounds. And then for Kevin and the Diva Drop Kicks and Dives boys, we're getting together a whole bunch of stuff for them. Stickers, and
we have a new shirt. We have a new shirt design.
We have a new shirt up as well.
So awesome.
Man, that's a lot of information. So there's all your information for the week. Is there anything else? Oh, hey, I got a Switch.
And
the fucking silence.
I took a drink. Kevin ate his salad, and Doug just shut the fuck up.
what Doug usually does.
Perfect.
Well, you've already had a Switch, Jared. Why did you get a second Switch?
Hers is $158.
Wait, what happened?
there you
You already had one. What happened to the first one?
No, the first one went bye-bye.
Why?
Wait,
Yeah.
why? What?
The first one got sold a little while ago. We ran on some hard times, guys. We had to sell it. But I've been waiting to get a new one. And then this opportunity came up last night. Target, well, they fucked up. They fucked up.
Someone somewhere made a boo-boo.
And someone somewhere got fired today.
Yeah.
So I would say some department got fired today.
Yeah.
Target, what happened was they're getting ready to go against Amazon, right? And they're going to launch this big campaign where they release these codes for save 15% on your entire order. Well, what they didn't know is that you could stack these 15% off codes. You can stack up to 6 of them. And then on top of that, they gave you $20 off a $50 order or more. So somebody figured this out. And they posted on Twitter. And I said, there's no way this works. I even texted you guys last night. And I said, this will never go through. And you guys didn't even like jump on it because you already knew. You're like, yeah, this is not going to fucking work.
Well, that and I was on the road and I didn't have any money and I've already got a Switch. So.
What you could have used it for anything, really. At Target, any electronics. Somebody bought a 4K TV and got $700 off. So, anyways, my Switch, normally $300, came down to $158 after tax. I paid for it. It said it was processing. It took it out of my account. This morning at 7 a.m., I got an email saying it was ready for pickup. I went and picked it up, and I grabbed the bag and I walked as fast as I could. I kid you not, there was a manager on the phone, a store manager, frantically walking back and forth by the pickup area. And I knew he knew something was up because I wasn't the first one walking out at 7 a.m. with some electronics. I saw somebody with a sound bar coming out and computer components and shit, like mice in it. I was like, uh-oh, people have been, uh-oh. So I got in and I got out, and this is the first time something like that has ever happened to where I was able to take advantage of a glitch. But some people really took advantage of a glitch. Like I said, they bought a Switch, an Xbox One X, games. People went nuts. So by the time that the West Coast Targets opened up, the glitch had been fixed, and anybody who did happen to pre-order or order over the internet and go pick it up, they were turned away, and they said that sorry, there was a glitch in the system, you'd have to pay full price. And so I was very lucky.
Not even 20% coupon could be used. They're like, no, you have to pay full price now.
They're like, fuck you, get out of here. No. So I'm interested to know how much they lost on that deal.
You know what though? I'd say it's a drop in the bucket. I mean, how many people knew about it? I would say, I mean, enough obviously to cause a stink, but I don't think it's going to be enough for them to be like, oh, we got to close down.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's true too, because they did honor a lot of these orders, and they turned away the ones that, and then they didn't make any update on social media. It wasn't a news story. So it's probably, I'm sure by looking at the Twitter feeds and stuff, I sit there and I'm like, oh my God, so many people. But honestly, it could have just been thousands, and then it'd been nothing to them.
Yeah. Exactly. So I think it's a drop in the bucket of what they have. So,
yeah. But other than that, it was a great deal. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's cool that you got one back though, man. Yeah, we'll have to hook up and play some more Switch soon.
Mm-hmm. And it's good because I wanted to get it for what's that stupid battle game coming out? Battle Brothers.
Battle
Boys.
Smash
Bucket. Smash Brothers.
Fuddruckers.
It's where you take hamburgers and you throw them at each other.
I'm down with that.
It's good shit. Speaking about hamburgers, let's get into misconnections. Every week we take real ads from the misconnection section of Craigslist. We read them in funny voices. They're completely real. We don't edit them in any way. We do ad-lib a little bit, but we definitely can't make this stuff up.
Boy sees girl. Boy is interested in girl. Boy awkwardly stares at girl from across. Boy never approaches. Girl leaves. Boy swears they are meant for one another. Boy turns to Craigslist for help finding girl. 8-Bit Geek steps in. Welcome to Misconnection.
Knock, knock.
What's up, fellas?
There he is.
Hey, what's
You're
up, Sean?
There.
What?
Never mind. It was a knock-knock joke, but you just said hi anyways.
Oh, who's there?
Fuck it.
Fucking who?
I knew it. Good job.
Fucking get to this misconnection.
Okay, this week on Misconnections with your boy, Sean Pennis. You dropped your Bible and I saw your thong. Male for women. I was walking down the sidewalk and you, a very good-looking woman from the backside, dropped what appeared to be the Holy Bible. You bent to pick it up, and through no fault of my own, I saw your thong. And wow. I know that Jesus spent some time with Mary Magdalene, and likely she wore next to nothing under those sackcloths. But I have to admit, your shirt, skirt, and fluorescent pink thong were way sexier, and made me want to get to, quote-unquote, know you, in the biblical sense, of course.
There's a biblical sense for that?
Yeah, it means fuck, Kev, because they can't say
Oh, okay.
fuck in the Bible, so there's other creative ways of saying it.
The other creative ways, like, I would like to know you.
Yeah, I would like to know you. They got to know each other. I'm not Christian, but if we can stick to the basic 10 Commandments and leave the Pope out of it, I think we'll be okay. By the way, I was the very tall, tan, curly-haired, non-Christian gentleman walking behind you. Yours truly, Sean Pennis.
It says location church. Why are you a non-Christian hanging out at a church?
Listen, that's how you get the freaks, man. Those
That's
girls
where
are-
my AA meetings are.
Or that too. Hello.
Oh, hey, Olga. Long time no see, buddy. Or lady.
Hello. Hello, boys.
Hi.
Oh, man, it's very topical to have a Russian on the show today, huh?
I am very Russian today, but I am very
Very
Russian. I am Russian living in America.
And you haven't been arrested for being a spy yet?
Go France.
Go France.
Oh, man.
I love the balls.
What?
Talking about soccer, Kev. Get your mind out of the gutter.
I didn't.
Da.
Da.
I am here to share a moment with you. This is Woman for Male in Minneapolis.
Close enough.
We exchanged stares for about 2 hours. And afterwards, after we were both pretty well lit up, we ended up in bathroom. By the time I had one too many Alabama slammers and projectile vomited out of my nose and onto your shoes.
Oh.
Being the nice guy that you are, he handed me bar napkin and said you still wanted some time alone together. We had awkward, sloppy sex for about 10 minutes, and then you bent me over the toilet paper dispenser and took me from behind when I farted.
Not surprised, really.
You went limp instantly and disappeared. I never caught your name. But you still have my panties. The bar was crowded and I could not find you again. KGB will. Tell me what color panties I was wearing and I'll send you address to finish the job.
I promise you, this person does not want you to finish the job.
Yeah, I think the job was pretty much finished
That's
after
pretty
you
much done.
farted like a Clydesdale.
I do not, yes, but I do not fart like man. I fart like pretty girl in dress.
Dresh?
Yes, it go like this.
That sounds kind of scary.
Fart jokes never get old.
They don't. They don't. That's one thing that'll never change in your 30s.
Anyway, next.
Thank
So,
God! Thank God she didn't see me. Otherwise, I'd have to get that bitch's address.
Hello? Hello?
I'm not here.
I don't. I'm gonna have to pass this off to a friend tonight because this is a strange one. And when it comes to being strange, I got somebody. I'm gonna call it an audible.
Oh shit. Okay.
I brought my boy. You might know he's a show called InfoWars.
Okay.
His name's AJ,
Oh, all right.
aka Alex Jones.
Oh shit.
Oh shit! Let's bring him in here.
Oh, hey, what's going on, everybody? Well,
Hey, Alex.
hey, just hanging out here. Just about to do the show. I got to record my show afterward.
Yeah, I don't know if this is the show for you, but we're excited. Not really.
Well, you know what? Maybe it's not the show for me, but you know what? This needs to be because everyone needs to listen. You've got a voice, and I'll make sure it gets heard.
Oh,
Let me tell you about this little time that I was just having some fun with some liberals. This one's called Butter Side Down. Women for women.
I feel like
Because
this is
that-
a misconnection for like a Butter Brother, but go ahead, Alex.
What? We can get a Butter Brother in here if you want. I'm just, I got paid by your friend here, Velvet, to come in here and talk about.
Oh, you
scrap
go,
metal.
Alex. You go right
No.
out.
So hi there. First of all, I just want to punctuate the story by promising this is 100% true. I don't care what people tell you. This is 100% true. You can take it to my grave.
All right.
Now, you may not remember, but 7 years ago, now I was in a cube car. Those little cars that you use with a cube, they don't really make them anymore because, goddamn liberals. Brunette, glasses, long hair, petite. I was going through a phase.
I don't know you as a petite person.
Trust me, when I wear like 4 layers of shirts. When I take it off, it's all a 6-pack, baby.
Okay.
It's like Labatt Blue in there, but all American. Now you were in a blue Toyota pickup truck. Long, black, brown hair, skinny, jeans. You were wearing jeans. Yeah.
You could tell this in their.
In the pickup?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because, I mean, the street cameras, they honed right in on her. And so, I have access to the network. I'm not supposed to tell you that, but I'm on a VPN anyway, so it's okay. Now, we only locked eyes for a brief second. And my then boyfriend, I'm not gay though. I'm not like those freaking frogs from the chemtrails that turn gay. I just had a boyfriend on the side. I just wanted to, you can't experience it without experiencing it. You know what I mean? Now, my then boyfriend got out to look for her. Now I stayed in the vehicle and I peered over to your truck. I noticed you had a fresh Tim Hortons bagel. Tim Hortons good stuff. Now you looked at the bagel and split it open like an Oreo. Then you proceeded. To this day, it haunts my dreams. There's so much stuff that goes on, but it haunts my dreams. You push the freaking bagel top, butter side down to your panties, eventually finding a home underneath them. And you rub, oh, my God. I can't even. For what it seemed like an eternity. And then you ate. You ate it like nothing ever happened. Like it wasn't a pre-planned attack on 9/11, like on Twin Towers, just like it never happened. What were you thinking? Please. I'm not even angry or embarrassed for you because I'm sure you had a good reason, but please, for the love of God, can you give me the reason? For 7 years, I've been going bananas over this. Just so much. I'm just ripping shirts and just getting freaking angry. Why did you rub the bagel on your hoo-ha? Why? Thank you. And kindest regards. A.J.
They were, yeah, they're too poor to buy locks.
Conversation, shut your mouth.
Oh, Smile Bob to the same thing in the chat. They forgot the lock. Should have do it on her own.
Yeah, see, I lost a bet and I had to hang out with Alex Jones one night, and he's all right. He's kind of an all right guy, but he's a little out there. Once he gets started, you just gotta let him talk, run his course. Eventually, he falls asleep.
You fucking killed me when Doug started talking. You just shut your mouth.
That's what's written. I made it in the script.
I know, but it's so perfect that you started talking. Oh, God. Hey, if I had to ask you guys, what movie came out on top this weekend? Was it Skyscraper or Hotel Transylvania 3? What would it be?
Skyscraper? What is that like? Oh yeah, that was Die Hard Light. Yeah, I'd go with Hotel Transylvania 3 because sequels always make more money.
Yeah, the fact
You'd
that it's
be
the third
right.
one in the series.
Whew, 44 million,
Yeah.
which is kind of soft, right? For a kids movie, I thought more people would show up for that.
It was kind of a slow weekend, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, I guess it's not that slow, seeing as 44 million still. Pretty
Yeah,
good.
we're still in the summertime, but also you got to look at it. Ant-Man still made 30 million,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
Skyscraper made 25.
Yeah, that's the opening weekend. Oof, ouch. Now here's the thing: Ant-Man had a 78% decline from the opening week. So I demand that Kevin Feige get fired and he should be replaced by Kathleen Kennedy. You motherfucks.
Yeah.
Yes, wholeheartedly agree.
But I second that. All right, let's get into some hard-hitting news here, and straight from the streets, we have our sideline reporter. The Justice Department has appealed the approval of the Time Warner AT&T merger.
Okay.
And so that happened, and I meant to read this full 450,000 page document, but I didn't.
Okay.
So so we're gonna have to wait to see what goes on with that. Now, my question for this story isn't whether or not that about the appeal. It's more or less, do you want to actually see this happen? Because AT&T stated before they purchased this Time Warner that they would not mess with HBO. They would also not do a few other things here in the story. You can read it. They list there a few things.
Well, we talked about that last week with.
But we talked. Yeah, that's what I meant. Is we talked about. And shortly after they announced the merger, AT&T hiked user fees in order to pay for it.
Oh man.
Which I'm now starting to see these fees. They started.
Yeah, I was gonna say we have to check our fees because we're with AT&T.
So, are you like, fuck this, I hope they never get it, or are you guys just like, it doesn't matter?
I don't think they should get it.
I don't think they should get it. It's a weird merger. I don't even know why AT&T was. Oh yeah, I could understand why AT&T was interested, but it's just
because they own DirecTV now, and of course then they would own Time Warner, and
that would make them a major player in the cable game.
Big time. I mean, they kind of are with their AT&T service anyways, with their cable, but
do they have cable?
But I mean, like having HBO under their belt. And
having all the content.
Yeah, I mean that's a huge thing for them. But man,
fuck them.
Fuck them. It seems like Department of Justice is trying to it could be it's on the foothold of a monopoly. But then again, we have all this Disney and Fox talk.
Fox, yeah. But they're only getting like the movie studio side of things, and Fox will still exist probably somehow, maybe like Lucasfilm still exists.
And they said that if Disney gets that merger, they would only own 40% of the yearly box office, so no big deal.
Yeah, it's only 40%. There's still another 60 for everyone else.
Yeah.
There's like Legendary, I think, is like WB and Bloomhouse. I don't fucking know who makes movies anymore, but
can't tell if you're being serious or not.
Stage Tech Lucy says, "Hey, tell AT&T to rub that bagel on their vaginas."
Oh wow.
Well, that's not exactly what she said. I think her actual words were "fuck them like that bagel," but
I was trying to be gentle.
But rub it on her vaginas.
It's better to rub than to receive. I mean, rub to. Anyways, words.
Hashtag better to rub than receive.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to hashtag
that.
Hashtag it, ants. Yeah.
Who?
Hey, before we get into this next story, I didn't have a chance to post it, but we all watched a 15-minute short film today.
Yes.
Called it can't be called. Can it be called Uncharted? We watched an Uncharted 15-minute fan film that had some serious weight behind it.
Yes.
Nathan Fillion was in it.
Mm-hmm.
The one guy with the white hair was in it.
The guy who played Sully. Yeah.
Stephen Lang.
He was awesome. Man, he was
fantastic. Awesome. That whole thing was fantastic, and we said it before. We'll say it real quick again. I want to see that happen with Nathan and not with Tom Holland. Fuck. I hope this goes to studios. They're like, oh shit, people really love this.
No.
Yeah, I honestly wonder if Nathan Fillion would do a whole live action movie. You know, because obviously this is total fan service, and it's a thing that like everyone has wanted since Drake has been introduced.
Mm-hmm.
But Nathan Fillion, I mean, I love him, but he's getting up there in age.
Yeah.
But if they did it within the next year or two, and you could look at this kind of like how the Deadpool thing was like, well, listen, I want to make this happen. If the fans go nuts, maybe it will.
Yeah, I mean, if they gave him like the like the Marvel treatment, and they forced him into a gym for like they did with Chris Pratt, where it's like before he was on Parks and Rec as this kind of fat buffoon, and then towards the end of that show, he shows up one day and they wrote into the show that like, hey man, Andy, you're looking good. What'd you do? Oh, I stopped drinking beer, and because he was suddenly super fit because he was doing Jurassic World and Guardians, right? So. I'm saying they could do that. That's my concern, is that they're going to sleep too long on it, and then they'll want him to do it, and it'll be like, because he's young-ish in the show. Like, I understand he's probably like in his 30s, but like Nathan Fillion's like probably closer to his late 40s at this point.
I think so. Let's look.
Let's IMDb that.
Let's IMDb that. He's 47.
See, so man, it's just we're running out of time. And then really, then you only get like maybe a handful. Otherwise, you're going to run into Indiana Jones 4 territory, where you're like, man, I love Indiana Jones, but this guy's too fucking old.
Yeah, and then you're like, oh man, there's a fridge involved.
Oh, Shia LaBeouf.
Oh no, it all happens with Shia.
Monkeys. Really?
The cool thing is that even if they did a later, like kind of Uncharted 4, you're not there yet, Doug, but he kind of is in his 40s in the game, and so. Which I can't wait for you to fucking watch.
I know. I need to buy that. Yeah. It's like, because it's now, it's officially, permanently $19.99.
Yes.
So I need to get it.
It was worth $60. So for $19.99, it's a steal.
I know.
I'll tell you what. You need to play that game so badly. 8-Bit Geek will spend $20 to make you play.
I'll play it and stream it.
You should,
like I did the other 3. Hopefully, it won't take me 3 years to finish, like it did for 3.
Yeah, it better not be, motherfucker.
It didn't take me 3 years. It was like.
Don't make this your Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Assholes.
Hey,
Zombieland 2 is happening, and it's going to happen with the entire original cast.
Yes.
Minus.
The guy.
Don't spoil it. I know who you're gonna say. Do not spoil it for the 5 people who have not seen that film, because that is one of the
minus Tom Hanks.
Minus Tom Hanks.
Fuck.
They couldn't get Tom Hanks.
Man, when that scene happened in the theaters, we got an early showing of it. People lost their goddamn mind. And then it was one of those like best kept secret things. So it was like you waited. It was like when you went to go see Cabin in the Woods for the first time and you didn't know what was happening.
Oh my God.
Oh, it was like one of those. I wish I could always experience something like that. Just something that's like completely out of left field. And that scene in Zombieland, that cameo was perfect.
Mm-hmm. It was by Tom Hanks.
God damn, we could say Tom Hanks. Red hair.
So there's a new RoboCop movie, and it's coming from Neil Blomkamp, starring Tom Hanks.
We already talked about this.
Did we?
No. Yeah. We talked about the beginning of the show when Kev watched the Robo Vampire.
Yeah, Robo.
Just a reminder for the stream. Here's that photo again of Robo Vampire.
I like how you put it over my profile. Okay, so a quick story on that too. By the way, I was working in a record store and they sold DVDs. And that came in one day, Robo Vampire. That's how I first heard of it. And I looked at the cover and I saw that and I was like, holy shit, it's really RoboCop. And then I turned it over and, that's where they show you the story and then they'll show you like 6 pictures from the movie or something like that. So they show you 5 pictures that make no sense. And then the 6th picture is the cover of the movie. That's how you know it was a fucking classic movie.
Huh. That's awesome.
Yeah, that movie, man. Like I said, you can find it on YouTube. Go find it.
Hey, guess what? Guess what? Guess what Warner Brothers wants to do? Which I support this, by the way. Although it may, it may kill the view. They want to build a sky tram to the Hollywood sign.
Oh, okay. That's weird.
Why?
Because they're saying because the traffic is so bad now in the back streets that it would make it easier because people are driving and parking everywhere, and it's causing a lot of traffic jams and a lot of problems. So
me?
money,
Did you read
they could charge what, $20 to get close to the Hollywood sign because you want to take a selfie with it.
Yeah, that's so weird.
So I'm pretty sure that's the reason why. So.
Okay.
All right, let's get into some gaming, guys.
Yes.
Remember when the sign was changed to Hollywood or whatever
Yes.
it was?
I do
What
remember that.
was it? Was Holly?
Hollyweed.
Was it not
That was
Hollywood?
when it was when weed was legalized
It
recreationally.
wasn't Hollyweed. It was
Yes, it was.
Holly. Fuck. Now we're gonna have to look it up.
It
Hollywood.
was Hollyweed.
Was it?
Yes.
Isn't. It was called Hollywood Land.
No, not the original sign, you
No.
nerd. Like 4 years ago, when
Oh.
someone changed the sign to make it say Hollywood, they attached like
history.
no. We know it's Hollywood Land. No, right?
Yeah. This is 2017. Artist charged with trespassing in Hollyweed sign prank.
Welcome to LA. It's the 1940s. You'll notice our sign up here. It says Hollyweed.
Welcome to Hollywood.
Oh no!
It's those jazz cigarettes.
Oh
that
no! It's the jazz lettuce.
the devil's lettuce.
Reefer Madness, we better change this to something a little more classy. Let's make it Hollywood, because we're boning girls in the casting rooms. Am I right, fellas?
I feel like we're like in LA Noir right now.
I forgot that I wanted to do that voice for a misconnection.
Ah,
Hi everybody and welcome to the show. Hey,
you sound
so
like the alien from American Dad.
real quick, we got a $5 donation from the Spicy Monkey.
Yeah, he says the stream won't load here, so here, take my lunch money and love me. Thank you, Spicy. Sorry, the stream isn't loading. He says, okay, I'm leaving now. Tell Ryan to eat his lunch. Bye, baby.
Man, Ryan ain't giving that $5. He's just a mod in the Discord.
Eat your lunch, Ryan.
Ryan.
Ryan. Hey,
You're
and
getting a little thin.
we got a new Patreon as well. Thank you, Kane. Won't say your last name, but thank you for becoming a Patreon.
Potter?
Where is
Sick.
Kern? Speaking of RoboCop.
Overwatch League. I didn't know it was this big, but it just landed a huge deal. The playoffs and the championship are going to be airing on ABC, ESPN, and Disney networks. I'm not talking about ESPN 9 or Ocho. This is the real deal.
Good. That's awesome.
Man, I was watching, that the Explained series on Netflix, and they have that episode about esports, and they're talking about, like, at one point, like, well, people argue that it's a sport, but what do you consider a sport? Is chess a sport? Is the spelling bee a sport? Like, blah blah blah. And they're like, because these are all things that are aired on ESPN. So
That's true.
Like people really define sports as like anything that's competitive. So if it's competitive gaming, it can be considered a sport.
Yeah.
And they're talking about how like they're moving to start pushing stuff up to ESPN and whatnot. It was very, very fucking interesting. I highly recommend that episode, especially.
I've been wanting to check out that whole series. I got tuned on to it, and
I've watched 3 episodes today, and they were all very good. But that was the last one I watched, and I was just like, "Oh, this is actually very interesting."
That's awesome.
Let's see. Epic is going to be reducing its cut from the Unreal Engine asset store because of Fortnite's massive success. So
That's awesome. Everyone wins.
Dope.
Good guy, Epic.
They're changing it from a 70%, 30% revenue split. Creators will now earn 88% and leave 12% for Epic.
Whoa!
That is actually really cool, and I think that will spark creativity because now a lot more people are going to download this engine and in hopes
Use
of
their
making
assets and stuff.
the next game. Yeah, that's awesome.
It's already
that
awesome. It's already great that Epic gives away the engine for free. And
right, and it's super cool that like they're one of the rare companies that are like, hey, we're making more money, so let's give you something back.
Yeah, who does that?
No shit, no one.
Here's a shitty story. Nintendo wants to charge you a fee to repair the Switch's common cracked plastic fault that it's their fault, but they want to charge you to fix it.
Yeah, that seems about right.
Yeah. But this thing, I mean, the crack doesn't seem to be that big of a deal if you just want to live with it, but
Yeah. But a lot of people want aesthetic, are very aesthetic. You know what I would recommend though? I mean, if you go, there are tons of mods like that are, just all it takes is a screwdriver. You can replace the whole thing with like a, like a synthetic one, like you can see through, or you can get different colors and stuff like that. So it wouldn't be too bad. So if this happened to you, it'll be just a good idea to maybe just
there's third party parts.
Buy a third party one for super cheap and just reinstall it yourself. I hear it's very simple.
Good God. They're charging 150 to 180 pounds in the UK to fix this.
That is insane.
That's so much money.
That's almost the price of a new Switch at that point. Because
yeah, it's like $200.
The exchange, no, 180 would be probably like 220, 230.
Well, let's Google it again.
Yeah,
Let's see if
add like 110% on top of that.
Either way, that's a dick move from Nintendo, and we're back to companies that when they start to make more money, they screw their customers.
At least the online component's only $20 a year.
Yeah, right. For whatever they offer
you get
online.
to rent a game once a month.
For free.
Nintendo is doing something really helpful though, and they're going to be helping develop crossplay and continuing talks with platform holders. So they are at the forefront of saying, yeah, let's keep this going. Let's make sure that crossplay is happening and that we could do anything that we can to help you guys out. So that's pretty dope. I like that.
Good. As much as I just talked about Nintendo, good on for that at least. Because Sony is the one being the assholes at this point. And Sony is, and especially coming from like the PS3 generation where Sony was like, oh yeah, we're open to cross compatibility or cross platform. And then they come out with the PS4 and actually do well with it.
With iOS, they're like, yeah, guys, we're letting you play with the Apple users. Duh.
Yeah. They don't even let you play with iOS users. They only let you play with PC and PS4. That's the only crossplay from PlayStation.
Yeah, no, they let you play with the iOS players.
Do they? I don't think so.
The PS4 can play with Apple.
Oh.
We reported on that 2 weeks ago.
Well, at least you have that.
It came out of my mouth.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Okay. Someone who actually listens to the show, tell us if you actually said that. Go back and listen.
Sony has been a bunch of dickholes about this. And I've always loved Sony, but I'm completely opposite.
The chat.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, isn't Sony's dick permanently in your mouth? It is, but in this case, I am anti-Sony on this because especially for me, like I'm starting to play Fortnite now, and I can only keep my account to my PS4 and my PC. I can't play it on my Switch. I can't even load it on my Xbox or Switch, even as a spectator. Or I'm sorry, not as a spectator, but as just like playing a different. I have to create a whole different email account, a whole different Epic account just to play it on another system, and that's
take
bullshit.
A drink.
Take a drink.
Yep, take a drink. Oh fuck.
Go on.
I thought you had the cup.
No, I didn't have the cup. I'm boycotting the cup for now. Until Sony writes their consoles cross compatibility, I will not drink out of the Sony cup.
So we talked last week about Konami shutting down this whole PT-PC remake. Well, it's pretty fucking awesome. I didn't know this shit. The creator of it was 17 years old.
Good.
Whoa.
God.
And they contacted him by telephone, personally asked him to pull it away and take it offline. But they sent him a whole bunch of merch. They sent him a whole bunch of games and offered him an internship at the company. But, you know
who else had an intern? Hideo Kojima. And then
I still think it's a win. Like to get an internship, to get that experience at what used to be a gaming company.
That's what I was gonna say. What game have they come out with? Like, what's the point of having an internship there? They're like, okay, cool, work on this slot machine. You like Metal Gear? Here's Metal Gear Kino.
Yeah, I mean that's good software. You got to build it so nobody can cheat. What are you talking about, man?
We're bringing back Contra in poker form.
Ratty in the chat is he's making a big deal over being replaced by a book. You didn't get replaced. You stopped coming up with good content. Okay, fix that.
Hey, yeah, our shit tonight wasn't from a book.
Nope, our shit tonight was from none other than
Perez Hilton.
Yeah,
No, guy.
that's what I read it as. I didn't.
Crushed Paradise.
Oh, Chris Paradise
I
coming through.
need to learn how to read, I guess.
Yeah, that says Crushed Paradise.
Well,
Spelled
spelled backwards. Paris Hilton.
a modder has found and fixed a typo in Aliens. Hey, Kev, did you play this game? Didn't you say you liked it?
It was okay. I'll tell you this. I bought that game on Tuesday and returned it on Thursday.
Oh,
Yeah,
Never
it was a terrible game. That was the one. Colonial Marines was the one that apparently was created by Gearbox, even though it was Gearbox's third-party title. Like they sent it off to some dudes, they broke it and sent it back to them, and then they had to release it. It was bad. The Xenomorph AI was laughable. You can look that up online in various GIFs of the aliens just kind of walking into walls or creepily walking around and not doing anything to the player. Like it was very bad. It was a very bad game.
well,
And you should not play it.
it looks like well, you can now because they fixed the AI with a simple INI patch. I would say we'll say it as a patch. So one guy noticed that there was a spelling mistake, fixed it, and the AI was acting as it should in the game.
That's all it took.
That's
And
all
that
it
game-
took.
That game came out like 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
did it go unnoticed? All this. Well, that's what you'd have to play it to actually like want to.
He said by fixing a typo in a text file.
Good God. That is embarrassing.
Very. How do you not like? I don't know. I'm not a coder, but it seems like that's something that you wouldn't miss, you know?
Yeah.
Anywho.
But then once again, Gearbox's third-party company, whoever they handed it up to.
Yeah. Rainbow Six Siege is immediately banning players for using slurs.
Cool.
This is a feel-good story. There's somebody on Twitter who got banned, and he said he tweeted at them and said, "Hey, fuck you guys! I just got banned for saying nibba in chat. I don't know what that is. Is that's a slur for something? That's a new one.
I
Oh,
assume
maybe.
that's their way of getting around.
Okay. Switch the. I get it.
Yeah, I think that was their way of
Turn
getting
the B's
around
into G's.
Yeah,
And then the Rainbow Six Siege replied and said, "Good."
the...
I'm very impressed by game companies taking an active approach to banning and kicking and just essentially shutting down people that are just being fucking racist and pieces of shit online because you get to hide behind a keyboard. It doesn't mean you get to act uncivilized and without manners. And I love the Overwatch's approach of what they're doing to change the toxicity in their game.
Yeah, I love that. GG, if you type in GGEZ, it'll say like, "Hello everyone, I apologize for my poor behavior," or something like that. It's just something that like totally rips on the play.
And I really love the lengths that these companies, they're no longer just allowing it to happen. They're actively trying to fix it. It's a shame. It's a terrible shame that in this day and age, the gamers get a bad rap because of the pieces of shit that play them. For the most part, it should be a community that people should be able to go into, have a good time, and not hear offensive shit. Especially even, I mean, women have it even worse, And so I'm all for it. I'm glad that it's happening, and I want more companies to get involved.
Agreed. I mean, just keep it going. I mean, it's just, especially like some of the more toxic games like League of Legends, Smite, Overwatch. I'm sure Rainbow Six, since that's become a popular game as of late. It's turns away a lot of their audience when there's just shit trolls in the chat or voice chat.
Yeah, I mean, I wish more people would take this approach. I'm going to jump to another story real quick that this reminds me of, just talking about the toxic, like just everything surrounding games. There were 2 Guild War 2 employees that were fired this last week. One was a female writer who has worked in the industry for like 10, 15 years, something like that, and like as someone who does a lot of the story and the narrative development as far as like dialogue trees and stuff. And someone posted a video or whatever telling her how she was doing her job wrong, essentially, or like how to fix this game. And so she responded with like no, like I've been doing this far longer, and like please mansplain dialogue trees to me, thank you, whatever. it kind of just shut him down on Twitter. And like, of course, at that point, the trolls came out and started like just harassing her and stuff. And like one of her coworkers chimed in and stood up for her, and both of them were fired from ArenaNet. And you know, the president of the company was like, you know, our community is the most important thing, and they broke our, you know, our not terms of service, but our whatever you want to call that, standard operating procedures or whatever. Like they broke the rules, and you know they shouldn't have engaged. Blah blah blah. But what the problem with that is it's now opened the floodgates to where people are now like, if there's a female employee involved in the making of a game, whether it be like anything from Blizzard or any of these other companies and stuff, they're now sending out like, fire this employee, or you know, like I'm not gonna play your game, or I'm not gonna give you more money, to the point where like, I mean, it's literally the floodgates are open when I say that. Like they're getting, all these companies are now being bombarded by people because ArenaNet listened to their quote unquote fans and not their employees and fired her. Like now they're like, well, they did it, why won't you do it? If you don't do this, like, fuck you. And like, obviously they're all like, fuck you trolls. But it set a really shitty precedent in the gaming like community and place where, again, they fed the trolls and now they're all out and they're hungry, and it's just stupid. It's to the point where some of them noticed that in these letters that they were being sent, that there was a spot where it was like, it was a clear tag for them to go in and replace the name of the person as well as the game. Like where there was like almost not like a blank, but a, you know, it was like % employee name, % game name, where they were supposed to fill it out and change those and then send it, where it was like, oh, we're starting to see like they're clearly just sending these in and not filling any of the stuff out. Like that some, you know, 4chan or whomever, Gamergate and all that shit are like sending, they're like purposely doing it. It's ridiculous. These are the same people that probably got like the chick from Star Wars to quit Instagram and stuff, right? Just these fucking trolls that their manhood is so like
Skank Hunt 42.
Yeah, they're just, they can't deal with a woman being a better person than them, and that they just feel like
well, most people are better people than them.
Oh no, but they can't handle it. Like they have to, they become destructive, and like they get off on it. And so I wish more companies would take this stand where it's just like, you know, oh, I got banned from the chat from saying this. Okay, good, fuck off. Like that's what ArenaNet's thing should have been. We stand by our employee. That guy can go fuck himself. If he's so good, he'd have a job in this fucking industry, but he doesn't. Instead, he's making YouTube videos in his parents' basement. Like, that's what the response should have been, not firing their employees. And it's a shitty move from that company. And again, it set a terrible precedent for these trolls just to like come out of their caves and gnash their teeth at people. So
yeah,
Amen, brother. Keep them coming.
No, keep them coming. Really, we don't have much more to talk about.
Okay, so Call of Duty Black Ops 4 multiplayer and Blackout Beta's details have there's like dates
leaked.
And stuff. Yeah,
yeah, we got the Call of Duty Black Ops 4 multiplayer. Just mention it here at the end of the show if you're interested. It's going to be starting on the PlayStation 4 August 3rd. And really, the reason why I brought it up is I'm very surprised by this. They're having a PC open beta. You don't have to buy the game. You just play it. August 11th to the 13th. If you do pre-order the game, then you'll get early access on the 10th. So,
okay,
that's that, and that's that. I'll play it. I'll be at QuakeCon when the open beta comes out, so I'll play it.
Nice.
I'll have time just to see how it is. It's going to be Call of Duty, so we'll see. Doug. Yep. Gonna pass on that one.
All
right.
It sucks because I actually you too, Jerry. You enjoy Call of Duty.
I enjoy it.
But it's gonna go back to that like fucking like wannabe Titanfall gameplay.
It's not. They're keeping their boots on the floor, man.
You think?
On the ground. No, I know. There's no flying. There's no jetpacks. What they did was they took a blend of from Rainbow Six Siege. They took and they mashed Overwatch together, and that's what you get with this game. So they're trying to take a lot of the popular stuff from these other shooters and mash it together. And if you watch the videos, I mean, you get these loadouts where you get to drop a shield. There's barbed wire you can put out around you and stuff like that. So very much everybody's different. You have these character builds. One's defensive, one's offensive, and so one's a healer, shit like that. So they're really trying to, they're very much copying. They used to be in the forefront of shooters, and now they're kind of falling behind. So I'm going to check it out. It's free. It's not going to hurt me just to try, see if I like it. But I am very much interested. Also, they're of course throwing everything they can at you. They will be doing also a battle royale.
Yeah, we talked about that though.
We talked about that.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. One of the lead characters that you can play, Tom Hanks.
Spoiler alert.
So it's going to be fun. You can play as Tom Hanks in the new Black Ops 4. So pre-order today.
What does he do? Does he have like a special? Was he like? Does he like?
He gets big.
Does he? Yes, he carry around a giant fucking like, I don't know, 50 cal gun or some shit. Just one of those minis, but like the full size ones.
He runs around
like a helicopter.
He's only got one line. He's got one line, and he just runs around saying, "Have you seen Private Ryan?
Have you seen Private Ryan?" Oh, that's gonna be it. I kept running.
Okay. Those are my running shoes. Mama said they could take me anywhere.
It's just quotes from various movies. You are a child's plaything.
Shit. What did I say? Did I get it wrong?
Someone says
Private Ryan. I did, right?
Yeah, I think so. It's a Wilson. Oh fuck!
All right, well that's the show. I hope that everybody enjoyed it. If you want to stick around, ask us questions.
Ask us.
Please don't ask us.
You can do that, but for everybody else who's listening to this, that's it. You're done. It's over. Unless you give to that Patreon, you're not going to know what happens next. So I'm Jeremy.
I'm Doug.
I'm Kevin.
Till next week. Lots of love, hugs, and Tom Hanks.